Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad. I guess could you call this the penultimate episode, being that it's 99?
It is the ultimate two-digit episode.
All right. This is the last two-digit episode. Episode 99, September 19th. Is that... Hey, we're 99 on 99.
Yeah, no, it's 919, but yeah, it's 99.
That's
pretty
good. But still. I am Clyde. Today I am joined by Michael Aston.
Hello, everybody.
Matthew Ross.
Well, greetings.
And Jimmy's Head.
Hi, Jimmy.
Too bad it's not the year of 1999, huh?
No.
Did you ever figure out that song you were trying to figure out?
Yeah, it's called 99. I couldn't
that's
figure
right.
out
We talked about it. It was Agent 99. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, rock on, guys. What is going on?
Another week up here in Atlanta. I guess you can tell I'm here because it is just my head. I'm here in the hotel room again.
So this is week 2 of you in Atlanta. Are you enjoying the Atlanta town between doing your actual job?
Nah, working so much, man, I don't get to see the outside too much.
You're in. Okay, are you in a room with no windows?
No, I'll get a big window.
No,
view.
not of your hotel room, the room you're working in.
Well,
It's
there
a server
are
room,
no.
so probably.
Yeah, there are no windows here of the Microsoft type.
Oh no! I totally walked into that one. Oh, that was my bad.
See, he's surrounded by apples in the land of peaches.
Oh.
But yeah, hey, one more episode and we have made it to 100.
100.
Nice.
I guess we're done after that, right?
Can we retire?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. I think if that's the case, we're going to be having to do this until, like, you know, what is the 300 episodes usually a show goes about? And when they hit their 300th, it's a big thing, and then shortly after that, they're done. It's usually how it works. Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
For some shows.
So what happens when we get to 300? Are we going to break up like the Beatles?
300, somebody yells this is Sparta, and then we just go black. No, I mean like we'll change the chroma key.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. That's what, another 4 years from now?
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. I was going to make a joke about the visitor that we had earlier, Bad We've asked, then who's Yoko?
No, don't do that.
I'm not going there. And for the record, she's welcome to fill in for Michael anytime. So.
No, because then you won't want me back.
See, Mike has incentive not to allow that to happen.
You'd be like, wait, I thought we got the one up, the better replacement. Then you'd be sneakily calling her in instead of me, and be like, oh, we canceled last night. Sorry.
Alrighty, hey, let's get into this. What do we got on the slate, Matt?
Well, This week we're starting with a story about New York University. The college students are returning to their dorm rooms at the college, and they are finding out that they are being forced to cut cable. Instead of having cable available inside their dorm rooms, they now have available to them Philo and a subscription to HBO Go. Is it just me, but is Philo and HBO Go not really enough of the channels you probably want to watch? You're missing a whole lot of things with just those two.
I could get by on Philo.
But you like watching nothing but Velocity, so.
But yeah, pretty much. No, I watch. If I were to watch live TV, it would be mostly Cartoon Network and probably Velocity just for noise in the background. But yeah,
it's good that Philo get the deal, but I don't know. It just seems strange to me that they would get the deal. I mean, wouldn't you think somebody like I don't know, YouTube TV or something like that would get the deal?
Well, the thing is, Philo's cheap. You get best bang for the buck at like $15 a month or $17 a month, as opposed to $40 to $50. So you get a sweetheart deal. Down from 17 to, let's say, they get 10, that's even cheaper than if, let's say, YouTube TV slashed the price in half, So
you don't think they charge enough tuition to upgrade them to YouTube TV or something?
Well, ultimately, the question is, what is the benefit to the end user, right? Like, Philo's channel lineup is pretty solid, really. For like Clyde was saying, for $16 a month, you get 40 channels. That includes a lot of the main channels that people watch. Now, I don't know that they're the main channels that college kids watch, but it is the most common channels that you hear people talking about. Aside from your local channels, it's got like HGTV, A&E, AMC, BBC, MTV. So, I mean, it's a pretty good lineup, and if they upgrade to the $20 one, it adds a fair number of other shows. So I think that, like, the key is that Philo is cheap, and it gives you enough to satisfy most people's needs, especially when you tack on HBO Go, which is what probably a lot of the kids are watching anyways, rather than the main things. And then, of course, there's probably ways that they're providing or that you can get over the air there. Maybe they're still having satellites or antennas on the buildings or something that lets you get over the air. I don't know, but that's always an option for you if you need it.
W. Scottis was asking, is it the $20 package or just the 16? I just put a link into the chat for it's philo.com/edu. This is their sales pitch for colleges. And I'm looking through, and it got a pretty good SLA. They're guaranteeing a 15-minute issue resolution. That's that's pretty nice. Yeah, it doesn't specify what. It just says that it's. Oh, you get it. Ooh, they even get a live administrative dashboard. Here, I'll bring this up. So, like, the administrators can see what people are watching.
No.
So it's made for administrators. You can monitor system health. You can post notices to your student body. That's cool. Oh, you build your own channel lineup, and include your own campus channels. That's cool.
Cool. Yeah. And that's a really awesome feature that they can add in their own stuff, campus events and stuff, so they can play the local football, basketball, lacrosse games over the local network so that the kids can watch that stuff. That's actually a really sweet feature that they're adding in there for them.
Okay, now I understand. Now I understand why they went with Philo.
Yeah, so it sounds like Philo has positioned themselves. They found a target market that nobody else had, first in the doors. So good for them.
Yeah.
This is a genius move, I think. They have common area solutions where you can manage all the TVs that are in common areas on the campus and stuff. This is a really good solution. Assuming that it works the way they market it.
Speaking of Philo, aren't we supposed to have be doing a 30-day thing that we started in August?
It's 30 days. We did not say it would be contiguous.
Maybe we'll have an update for episode 100.
When we've done our 1 day a month for 30 months.
There you go. That way we can tell over time how it's
not when I'm paying $17 a month for it. have to get a Patreon going to pay for that. Yeah. But yeah, rock on. So good for Philo.
All right. Well, moving on, The Verge is reporting that the Hulu TV live service, not just the regular Hulu service, but the live TV service, has just hit 1 million subscribers, which is kind of remarkable since they've only been doing the live service for about a year or so. So this marks a good adoption rate for them on this new service of theirs.
Yeah. I mean, I am a subscriber. I joined up fairly early on, and I wouldn't say that it's a perfect service, but I'm happy with it, right? I mean, I'm a big fan of the regular Hulu before the live TV service, and it just made sense that, I'll go ahead and just tack it on, and that way I've got the live shows whenever I need it. Not that I watch that many, really, but I've got it, football season or something like that to watch a game. It's definitely good for that.
Very cool. It seems like to me that the Hulu TV Live service would be a natural move for a lot of people. So if you already used Hulu, it would make a lot of sense for you that's the way you'd want to go, especially since it has good support for a lot of different devices. But for me, it doesn't seem like it's the right choice. But that's only because I've stayed back for a long time and decided, carefully chose over my options, and YouTube TV just fit me better.
Well, so. I mean, and there isn't a one size fits all package out there for anybody.
No.
Which is why I love Hulu, but I'm not using Hulu TV, the live service, because I have access to YouTube TV. And I don't care about live either. I'm just using the YouTube TV as a DVR. Yeah. But I mean, everybody there's something for everybody out there. So, and apparently Hulu's not doing so bad. They've got at least 1 million people that think it works for them. So
we're really in a state where it's a viewer's choice, right? Like there are a variety of options that all cover the general bases that everybody needs. They have DVRs, they have the main channels that are most commonly watched, and they provide local TV services in a lot of areas, right? So a lot of people have a variety of options. Then it just comes down to preference and special needs, right? Like I want to be able to watch every Boise State game, so I picked YouTube TV because it had like CBS Sports, which I think it was Sling or maybe it was DirecTV that didn't have that. And I think PlayStation Vue also didn't have that last year, so I missed a couple of shows. So it comes down to like your own special needs and like your preference of UI. I don't particularly like the Hulu UI because I think it's hard to find certain things, and it's easier to find other things, but just not the things that I care as much about. And I like the YouTube TV UI. I like it okay. It kind of annoys me that I can't use it on my Fire TV, but it has the channels that I need where PlayStation Vue didn't have all of the channels that I needed. So there's a great option out there for everybody, and the prices are fairly reasonable still. So you still can save money over what you were paying for cable. So we're in a great situation for the viewers.
I agree.
Moving on, it looks like the Apple TV just came out with their new update that includes the single sign-on, and that new update for the single sign-on has already gotten support for Sling TV, PlayStation Vue, and Hulu, which means that only a couple of the streaming services really aren't supporting it yet. Which I believe it's on here. It says that we're missing DirecTV Now and YouTube TV support for single sign-on. That's a pretty good adoption rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll be excited try that when I get back home and actually get a chance to update.
Yeah.
Because that was offered with tvOS 12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
That was just released on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really surprised DirecTV isn't on board. They were one of the early partners with Apple. Well, I don't know partners with Apple, but they were giving away the Apple TVs with the DirecTV sign up. So it surprises me that they didn't get on board with this faster, but it doesn't surprise me at all that YouTube isn't there. I think YouTube is just as likely to be working to support their own infrastructure and their own stuff a little bit more than being super excited about getting on Google TV. Also, no single sign-on for Amazon Prime, which, they don't have the streaming TV service, but so maybe it's just not mentioned here, but it doesn't look like it is. And that kind of makes sense. Again, they're pushing more for the Fire devices and stuff like that. So,
All right.
All right. YouTube is now offering vertical abs on when you use your mobile device on your to watch your videos. Basically, they're finding out that a lot more people are using their mobile device to look for and search for videos, and they're now beginning to put video ads onto your device that are in that horrible way of looking at your phone. Why is anybody even using their phone in this way when they're looking at videos? I don't get it.
That's me trying to ward off the evil. Stay away, vertical ads.
Yeah.
The vertical video is an abomination, and it's there's just no words for how awful and horrible and evil vertical video is. So to add vertical ads is just like, it's an abomination on top of an abomination. It's vertical video makes a lot of sense for only one purpose, which is I'm going to use the term FaceTiming somebody face to face over that kind of device. Then it kind of makes sense because it does orient with that kind of position with people. We really don't need this much shoulder space between people for that kind of thing. But most of the times, nobody likes it. A one-on-one conversation with a person live, yes, use vertical video. That's different. Don't record yourself vertically to chat, to blog, to communicate, to make videos of your cats or whatever. It's just horrible and wrong. And you're a cool person if you do it. Sorry, any of our viewers that are doing this. You're awesome.
That's the thing that I blame Apple for, because it's primarily iPhone users that are kind of have been trained through the years to hold the phone that way when you're shooting video, and it drives me crazy, and I yell at them, and they're just like, you don't get it.
Well, see, I view this just a little differently, or I wonder about this would be a better way to say it. I wonder if they didn't come up with these vertical ads just to prod people to pay the extra $10 or whatever it is to get the YouTube Red, so you don't get the ads.
Well, I think you don't YouTube Red. You don't get the ads gone anymore. We talked about
YouTube
that.
Premium.
Yep, you have to get YouTube Premium, which is a step up. Yeah,
right. Yeah, but still, I mean, it's still the principle's the same, right? I mean, it just they throw these guys in there to get you to upgrade to the premium service.
Mm-hmm.
Bad We've just asked, is it just me, or does Jimmy look like a pale Thanos tonight? He just needs the lines right here. Yeah, he pretty much does.
So before we move on, Bad Weave made a point. He said he's an Apple guy for sure, but the first phone maker who forces landscape mode for all video played will win his forever dollars. I agree. I am there.
So, hey, small company that's not able to, having a hard time getting people to dedicate their life to you, you can get Bad Weave's money right now by just making it so whenever there's a video played, it forces you into landscape mode. That's a good idea.
Agreed. That would be awesome.
So the BBC says they figured it out. They know how to do live streaming now. No, basically, they figured out that there was a problem. People were watching, trying to watch live streams, and some people were getting some lag issues. And so they have figured out the way to basically eliminate the problem altogether. And apparently, the solution has everything to do with how they're chunking up the stream and sending it to you. Instead of sending you a constant stream, which can be varied in its bit rate as things are going on, they figured out that they can put it into chunks, relatively small chunks, happily, and send it over to you in those chunks. And those chunks tend to get to you more reliably. And if I could speak tonight, that would be great. La 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 la.
I don't really watch the BBC, so any of you out there that watch live streams on the BBC, congratulations. Do they also eliminate the delay if you're watching it from the other side of the planet?
Probably not.
I think one of the things that's important here is that while the BBC is the one that did the research to identify this isn't something that will only be available to the BBC, right? Like they developed a new way to chunk and section video in order to improve the efficiencies of streaming while keeping the lag minimal. And so the benefit is not available until it becomes an industry standard effectively. Yep. So this will be good for everybody, regardless of what you watch. And it won't be in play in the immediate future because it does need to have some level of critical mass before it becomes beneficial to anybody.
And as that article points out, this is solving is a solution to a problem that's already been solved in many cases. And they reference Microsoft Mixer. Their live streaming service has a near zero latency feature. I know Twitch has been playing with low latency. It's not perfect, but yeah. Well, they need an industry standard is what it comes down to.
Right.
Well, and with the 4K content coming on, I think it's going to be more important.
That's probably true. YouTube Kids has been a perennial thing we talk about here often, and they've continued to try to update it. They have now offered new settings in there that allows you to, as a parent, set a setting that allows your kid to only watch approved content, which means you get to whitelist exactly what the student or kid can watch through it. I keep saying student because I work at a school. They've also decided to make additional settings in there to allow us older kids to have a little bit more control. If you just use their setting, you can change the setting from younger to older, which opened up some more tween age stuff like video games and music videos.
So basically, YouTube is giving parents the ability to test out what it's like to be a dictator. But I mean, that's your job as a parent. So.
That's actually pretty true. I'm not going to say that's wrong. So yeah,
I mean, it's would be the proper definition because you're dictating what your kids can watch. No, it's a good thing as. Any other parent out there that has let their kids watch kids stuff and then you check in and find out, whoa, wait, what is that? I think every parent has run into that. This kind of solves that problem, which they were being heavily criticized for within the last year. So good for them.
One thing that's really cool about this is, yes, they've made some real inroads in removing content that's inappropriate, but what's ended up happening as a result is that a lot of the content is very oriented to like younger children from the 5 to 8-ish range, making it something that's less interesting for your tween, like your 8 to 12, 13-year-olds. They're going to find very little in YouTube Kids that's appealing to them. And this is really cool because it allows you to keep them in an environment that is relatively safe. You don't just have to open them up to YouTube itself. And at the same time, they start to get some content that's actually of interest to them as well. So this is a really cool feature. It's kind of one of those things where I've largely let my older daughter start watching she watches YouTube because there's not, like I said, there's not a lot of good content on YouTube Kids for her. Obviously, we talk to her about what content she can and can't watch, and we kind of keep an eye on it. But so it's not anything she wants, but she gets to watch it through YouTube because of that. And this introduces the possibility of going back to YouTube Kids for her.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, of course, keep in mind, this is only a good service until they get old enough to learn how to Google how to get around parental controls on the video.
Yeah. Well, or if you, I mean, like ours is kind of on an honor system, right? I don't lock down Google Play, so she could just install YouTube on her tablet, right? Or on her phone. So that's why we largely talk to him about it and stuff. But it gives you a way to feel a little bit safer about what she's going to encounter than just YouTube in general, where she could inadvertently stumble on something that she shouldn't be watching. And so, like I said, it's a good thing. I'm really excited about this.
Well, Netflix is working with a bunch of different people to make a new technology alliance, in order to make sure that their various producers of videos make the videos in a manner that makes the best kind of screening experience for everybody. It includes things like what kind of the right cameras to pick, what kind of video editors which work best, and what kind of encoders are the most compatible. Various things like various cameras are recommended for their creators to use. This is called the Netflix Post Technology Alliance, which was the kind of thing that will allow them and for everybody who follows this guideline to make the best movies possible for their services.
Yeah, you got to make sure you have that $20,000 Canon.
Mm-hmm.
A Nikon will not work, and don't you dare try to get a Sony. Yeah.
Actually, they have a Sony on the list.
2 Sony models, the Venice F55.
No, rock on. It's cool that they're actually putting out kind of their basic requirements. I mean, how bad would that be to actually get the go ahead and then you turn it in? You turn in your finished product and they're like, no.
What'd you do this on an iPhone?
Yeah, this is an iPhone series. Yeah, I don't like the Post Technology Alliance because I mean,
It's after technology.
They've already ascended beyond technology as a whole. It's like, yeah, it's no longer a thing. It's just a bunch of wizards in a room. They have no need for technology. But yeah.
So AMC's A-List subscription is now allowing you to pay with an online services with if you're using Fandango or if you're using the Atom ticket services. Up until recently, you had to use either their built-in system to pay, or you could pay once you go up to you'd have to go into line and pay with it up in line. But now that they're allowing you to use Fandango and this new one, I've never heard of Atom tickets, you can now do your payment and your ticketing online. All on your phone. Kind of like, I don't know, a lot of other places. It's wonderful. AMC.
Yeah. Cool. Welcome to 2010 to quote Bad Weave from earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, rock on. If you're and I've said this before, is if you're a fan of AMC and their program works for you, then congratulations, you got a new feature.
Well, if you live close to one of those theaters, then yeah, it probably works out pretty good. But if you don't, then I don't see the incentive to want to use it.
See, and that's the thing is I live close. The closest theater to me is an AMC, and I will not go there. I drive 20 minutes out of my way to go to a different theater. But yeah.
All right. OnePlus is famous for making fairly inexpensive but high-quality cell phones, and now they've decided they're going to move into the smart TV business. They're working on making new models that'll appear as early as 2019, and they will have features such as high quality audio solutions, and maybe even things like, I don't know, some type of AI environment inside of them. So it looks like we're going to have more players in the TV game, this 4K TV game, guys.
Yeah, that's one thing we need is more players.
Sure.
I can't even keep track of all the brands anymore. I mean, quality brands. I mean, there've always been like a million white label brands out there. But I don't know. I liked the OnePlus phone that I was able to play with. I'd be interested in seeing what they come out with in the TV.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe they can break into the high-end TV market for a relatively cheap price, which is kind of their thing. So maybe you can get the OLED for $700 or something.
Breaking
like
into
that.
the high end would be hard. That's the whole reason that like TCL and Hisense and all come in with the budget, because when you're dropping down a big chunk of change, it's going to be for a brand you recognize that you have a relationship with. You're not going to drop $2,000 for a brand that you've never heard of that has no reputation. So, I mean, the article specifically like mentioned, you know, that like the specs they need to at least match the specs of the low end Samsung, LG, TCL, Vizios.
Right.
So yeah, I would expect they would come in with a low end good TV like TCL and Hisense both did spectacularly well, and then build from there.
Yeah, I think that the key here is that they're talking about having higher end features.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll probably be like somewhere in between. It'll have like higher end features, but it will be lower priced and probably not like as great of a screen, right? Like that's the thing that sets Samsung apart, right? Like they have really great looking displays, and they at least believe they have the best looking display. I think I might be inclined to agree in the LED space that their displays look the best. LG and Vizio look very close to as good, and then TCL and stuff, they're not far behind. But Samsung kind of leads in pure looks. But if you can come in and look as good as Vizio or even TCL, but add better integration with your smartphone, a better assistant to help you find the shows you want and stuff, and to open apps and things, that's all going to draw people to you. Especially if you integrate with an existing environment that people have, like Alexa or Google Assistant. That'll be the big thing that sets them apart, is if they go ahead and go with one of the assistants that people are used to using right now. Never mind Alexa.
Well, see, the one thing that this article makes me wonder about is, you know, could this be a play on the 5G that is coming down the pipe? Maybe they're going to create TVs with built-in 5G modems that can connect to the cell signal, and in that way, and use your OnePlus phone to provision the service, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they got in mind with this. I mean, of course, they're being, you know, a little vague here, other than say they want to compete with other guys. But you're right. How would they compete with the well-named brands like that unless they're first to market with some sort of built-in 5G service?
All right, moving on. Cinemia, remember them? They made those guys who were trying to make something that kind of acts like MoviePass, but now they've come up with a new $30 unlimited plan that allows you to watch one movie a day, every day of the month, and no restrictions on what you can go see. This is the kind of the thing that, you know, it's a really just felt just exactly like MoviePass, only it's 3 times as much.
Well, and this is what I kept saying MoviePass needed to do. I was more than happy to pay upwards to $30 for what I was getting. You know, the problem with Cinemia has been the limit. You know, they have had a better app in the fact that you could book tickets online, and you could go see premium movies. It was But so now that they have eliminated the limit on the movies, and you can pretty much go every day. I might throw in on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we knew that you loved the movie pass, and we know that you absolutely love going to movies that you didn't care for just because you go like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So, is $30 a month too much, or is that okay?
No, I mean 30. I'd say 30 is about my limit.
Okay.
Because I mean, you figure if you only see 4 movies a month, it's still less than $10 a movie.
That's true. Okay.
I'm waiting for the service where you can get those movies right when they come out and you can stream them at home.
Oh, they have that. You just have to pay like $1 million a movie,
Well,
and then they bring it to you in an armored vehicle, and yeah.
Well, I mean, I think one day they'll have it there. Probably a shorter time delay than what it is now. What is it, 4 months or something? You have to wait for it to come out after it's released in the theater. So.
We got a story here for you audiophiles. If you wanted to get yourself Dolby Atmos for as cheap as you can get yourself the new Vizio system, which is what's called a 5.1.2. I don't know if that's 5 speakers to 1 subwoofer and 2 center channels kind of solution for $500. This system meets the new Dolby Atmos standard, which means you will be able to get all kinds of high quality sound out of these. Which does it include a actual surround with this? I believe it is. It is full surround solution.
Oh, it's 5.1. So yeah, and it doesn't say simulated.
But isn't that more with the receiver that controls that? It's not really the speakers, is it?
Oh no, well it is. The receiver does the decoding and sends the right signal to the speakers.
Right.
So this being a full surround, they've got the 2 speakers for the rear. That's the difference between a true surround or your simulated surround, where the computer basically emulates what you would hear if you had speakers behind you, which I mean they can do pretty well now. I mean, I've got those Corsair headphones I was using last week. They have simulated 7.1 in 2 speakers, and it's weird. But yeah, $500 though. From Vizio.
I mean, it depends.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. This isn't just the speakers. This is like a sound system. It's like a sound bar with multiple pieces.
Yeah.
It includes the receiver and stuff. So the nice thing here is that you don't have to pay for a $500 receiver, which is about what you'll pay to get a Dolby Atmos quality receiver. So you're getting the speakers for the price you would pay for just the receiver.
Yeah. This reminds me of, they came out with those all-in-one DVD 5.1 sound systems in like around 2000. And
Okay.
Remember?
You'd buy the box and it had all the pieces you needed.
It was just like the receipt. Gotcha. Yeah, and
no, Dolby Atmos version.
Yeah, I mean, when you, in the age where we're in, where everything is sound bars and stuff like that, this is going to be a great system compared to a typical single piece sound bar. And 500 really is pretty reasonable for a quality surround sound system. So yeah. I'm kind of interested.
Well, so the question is it a true surround or not? And I believe if it's a Dolby Atmos, it's going to be a true surround. I don't think you can
the difference is, the speaker direction points up to bounce the sound off the ceiling, give you more depth, as opposed to firing directly at you.
Did the article say that it's spatial aware?
Doesn't say. But it does say that there's 3 different price models though.
Yeah.
The $500 36-inch model is currently available at Best Buy, Costco, and Sam's Club, while the 46-inch models will arrive later this year on Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart. So
Interesting distribution there. Okay.
yeah.
YouTube. Hey, you guys ever? You know that every once in a while I will turn on my computer and I'll stream something on YouTube gaming. Did you know that?
You mean Twitch?
No. This is a thing called YouTube gaming. It's a real thing. You
Yeah,
can actually...
it's actually Twitch. People get the two confused all the time.
No. There is actually a thing called YouTube gaming. It's actually
I
a
don't
thing
understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
but see, it's a thing where you're actually using YouTube and you're actually broadcasting your gaming.
But
Okay.
YouTube
Okay.
is all about like gun videos and opening boxes.
Well, this is exactly why YouTube is basically dropping YouTube gaming. They've actually decided to revamp their entire gaming solution into something that's more just built right into YouTube. Instead of having a separate app and a separate web page and trying to make it so you're not using their gaming section as a separate thing, it is now going to be part of just the primary solution. Which they found out that by doing their own research that everybody forgets the fact that there's a YouTube gaming thing. They just use YouTube or Twitch.
I just realized why I shouldn't try to read the article through the XSplit window that I'm because cater to a fat burger was not actually what it said. So yeah, they're trying to cater to a far bigger number of gamers. I guess. Good luck with.
But
Yeah.
the good news is if by dropping the separate app thing, it didn't make any sense anyways to try to separate.
I had no clue that I literally had no clue there was a separate app.
I remember I used it every once in a while. Absolutely.
It's kind of like that Microsoft thing. What are they calling it right now?
Mixer.
Is it still Mixer? I figured they would have changed it again.
Yeah. It was like. Was it Glide before? No, not Glide.
No,
I mean, what was the name before?
I don't even remember.
There are so many names.
But
it's currently Mixer as far as I know, and it's a horrible name. Sure, let's go do a Mixer. No, you don't want your kids saying that. You do not want your kids saying that.
You don't want to. You don't go to the Mixer. You know, when you go to when you first get to college and you go to meet people at the Mixer.
But you don't want your kids saying, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, I want to go ahead and do a Mixer." Mom and dad go, "What?" All right. Firefox is bringing us a new browser that will be wonderful and will allow you to do these very cool web browsing across the web in VR.
Yay.
Basically, they're going to bring their version of their browser to virtual reality interfaces. I believe they are starting off right now with HTC Vive, Oculus, and Daydream devices. So feel free, if you like Firefox, to try it out.
I am kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I'm all for a good browsing experience in VR, especially since it will be possible. I mean, this is something they said on Daily Tech News Show that the web is a flat 2D experience right now, but give people the option and the opportunity to do something in VR. They will make a 3D version of the web that we will begin to like. So this is we need competition in this space. We need people to come up with cool ideas of how to change how we consume our data over the standard web interface into this new 3D interface. This is going to be good stuff in the long run.
And Beam remembered it was Beam was the Microsoft thing before.
Oh yeah, because M-Beam.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing you hit on a good point there, Matt. Like this is awesome to see this kind of thing happening. This is ahead of its time, but it's necessarily ahead of its time, right? Like we won't have a lot of people using AR and VR for things other than playing a game or two and watching a YouTube video or two or whatever, until we start to have a critical mass of apps and devices and content available. We can't get that until companies create it. And so there's a chicken and an egg situation here where there's not a big incentive to get AR and VR devices unless you're an early adopter. If you're really excited about the technology, the average people have no reason to go out and buy it because there's not enough content and there's not enough entertainment value. But we need companies like Mozilla and stuff to step up and create this ahead of time and do a good job of it, which is going to generate more and more content. Like you said, we need people to step up and create web pages and web apps and web content and video for this new software tool, this new tool, because otherwise there will be no reason to use it, right? We're still early. There's still not really a reason to do it, but do it anyways if you can.
Yeah, it's just an interim. It's just an interim until we get these devices.
Yeah.
Okay. And our last story for tonight is a story about what next time you're on your long flight home or to your next destination, you might be able to just get your shows in your seat by watching Dish TV. That's right, Dish TV has decided that they're going. We're done.
That was it. I couldn't take any more.
No. But no. Dish TV is providing American Airlines with a way for you to watch many of their channels streamed over the inside internet of your of the system of your flight to watch several channels on them as part of your service. So hey, Dish, they're trying to find subscribers wherever they are. So that's you'll have to find them in the sky.
So this is kind of cool. There's a couple of things that I wonder on this. My wife recently, I always fly Southwest. I've almost always flown Southwest, but my wife recently took a flight back where she left after me, so I wasn't with her. And they had NBC for free on the flight she was on. But it wasn't really NBC. You couldn't choose anything. It was pre-streaming, and it was like summaries of the shows that just ended, where they show parts of like several episodes. And she's like, I just saw the whole season in like 30 minutes and it sucked to view it that way and it ruined the show for me, so now I don't want to watch it. And it took me, like, we're watching The Good Place season 2, and it took me a little bit to convince her to watch it because she was like, well, no, I don't want to watch it. It looks like it sucks. Because she saw this little snippet. And so bad on whatever airline that was, and bad on NBC for doing that. That's horrible. But good on American Airlines for trying this. My question is, it's free live TV for domestic U.S. flights. Do you have to sign up and pay the $10 for internet to get the free live TV? Or is it just literally everybody can have it? Because I know that a lot of the airlines have Wi-Fi and you can stream Netflix or whatever you can't stream Netflix, but you can get some stuff when you pay for the Wi-Fi, but you pay $10. Is this fit into that? It's like free live TV after you pay us $10 to have access to anything.
Well, I can speak to this.
Cool,
yeah, so I fly Delta all the time, and Delta has a deal with DirecTV. So you get satellite TV is what it is.
Okay.
Right. So you get the free live satellite TV. It comes free as long as it's not with every flight, because some planes don't have the equipment, right?
Okay.
But every plane that is equipped with the satellite TV gear, you get it included in with your flight.
So
okay. That's good.
I am picturing the traditional dish hanging off the side of a plane. And hopefully their installers do a lot better job than they did for all the other houses where they ruined the roofs installing those stupid things.
The thing is, you're good to watch it until the plane gets up to 100 miles an hour, and then the wind is too great. So really, you get the busing time.
And I
I
was
would
going to say, are they going to add like a third person in the crew to keep that dish like perfectly
sits on the wing
aligned?
and turns.
You just got the
It's like
crank
the little,
back,
they hired,
watching the signal meter.
they hired the little troll thing from Twilight Zone to sit out
Oh,
there and rotate it.
Yeah. Hey, technology making plane rides better.
Yeah.
Awesome.
very good.
I still
And, well,
want VR. I just want a VR headset so I don't have to look at anybody and just be alone. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's our news for the week, guys. So.
All right. Well, we don't have a movie draft to check in on. That is officially pretty much done. And the next movie draft is tentatively scheduled for next week. So Winter Movie Draft is coming up. Keep an eye out for streaming notifications, official times, and where to watch. It's going to be fun. I think you guys are against me again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing really briefly about our previous movie draft, which we are going to officially turning off this movie draft on Friday, where I will be taking the spreadsheet and removing all the code and making it a static sheet. So on that date, it'll be interesting to see how close Have a Drink gets to your $1 billion mark. They're not going to catch up to you, no way. But they're already 909 million. That's much higher than I thought they would get close to you. Quite frankly, it's much closer than I figured.
I was shaking in my boots there a little bit.
No, you weren't, you lying.
No, they did get pretty close. So
Yeah,
I was watching them pull away from you guys and going, all right.
I thought we actually had a reasonable chance of getting second place, but
Crazy Rich Asians, I told you Crazy Rich Asians was going to do at least 150. And everybody said, oh, no.
I was judging the book by the cover in that I was judging the movie purely by the name, and I thought, that sounds like a dumb movie. Nobody's going to want to watch that. It sounds like some like comedy that, it sounds like a Seth Rogen comedy or something like that. Like, I'm thinking about the Asian dude from Hangover, and I'm imagining it being that guy, like the movie about him. So obviously I should have watched the trailer, but yeah, I still wouldn't have changed the way we bid. We missed the mark on this one, and you guys, awesome.
W. Scottus One owes me a serious thank you, because if we had let him keep Predator,
ooh, how did that do?
It made this was the opening weekend. Mm-hmm. Since opening weekend last week, $24 million.
Ooh, that's not good.
Whereas the Meg brought him in 137 total. So, and it's wow. So I'd say I'm just going back to the interesting stats to see. So the top 5 movie values was Incredibles 2. Crazy Rich Asians came in as number 2.
I know. It's impressive because it was much better than everybody thought it would be.
Book Club, mainly because of the price I bought it for.
You paid it for nothing for it.
Exactly. So it came in as number 3, A Quiet Place number 4, and Avengers Infinity War is number 5.
So A Quiet Place coming in at number 4 was a surprise to everybody, especially how early on it was. That was a big surprise. And I'm not surprised that Avengers Infinity War it made the list.
No, I'm surprised that it's down at the 5th best value, though. And you got to understand that the best value is based on its box office gross compared to what we purchased it for in the draft, not the price that it got total. So, and then the worst. You guys ready for the top 5 worst movie values?
Hey, I can say that we don't have any movies in this list. Yes.
Yep. We've got Number one worst was Sunderman.
Ooh.
Number 2 was Super Troopers.
Ugh.
2. Number 3 was The First Purge. Number 4, Uncle Drew. Yeah, we kind of saw that coming.
Yeah.
And the one that was total shocker, number 5 worst movie value, Ready Player One.
It's surprising.
That movie
Totally
bombed so hard.
Oh.
I mean, it made the Solo bomb almost palatable in comparison.
Well, the Solo bomb. The thing is, like, we all expected Solo to not do as well as it seemed like it should as a Star Wars movie. So it bombed, but it was an anticipated bomb.
Well, it bombed way harder than we expected.
It was an anticipated bomb, so nobody paid as much. But then it did even worse than was expected.
But there is a reason for that.
One,
There is a scientific reason for that, which has been proven over and over. Jimmy and I were talking about it beforehand. I loved that movie, which means everybody hated it.
Yeah.
And if it was a TV show, it would have been canceled after the first episode.
Well, it was. So it wasn't a TV show, but they delayed filming or set off filming of the other Star Wars story movies that they had planned because of the bomb that Solo did.
Yeah.
So it effectively canceled its series because it did so poorly, which is a tragedy because I loved it as well. And I know a ton of people that really liked it.
I think
And
I think the answer to the Solo problem is that there was a lot of people who felt burned by The Last Jedi. There was a lot of people who saw that and didn't like how they felt about watching it because it did ruffle lots of feathers. And then they were like, "Oh, I don't know if I like this idea of them doing something to mess up my favorite character from Star Wars with Han Solo."
Right.
So a lot of people are like,
I've said it before. I really liked Solo. It's the first Star Wars movie I actually enjoyed. So
I think that the thing about Solo is that a lot of longtime fans didn't even go see it, and the reason is because, like Matt said, people didn't want to have their vision of their favorite characters. And this movie had almost all of the main, like the top characters of the Star Wars trilogy, the original Star Wars trilogy. Had Han Solo, had Lando, had Chewie. I mean, these are pivotal characters that people love to some extent, even more than Luke and Leia and Vader and stuff. So, like, these are some of the best characters in the series, and people were afraid that they wouldn't do them justice. And especially to your point, after Last Jedi. I liked Last Jedi. I have some complaints about the show, but I liked it. I liked Solo even better than I liked Last Jedi, though. Solo more stuck to the characters in my mind. It made better work of the characters than Last Jedi did of its characters.
And it did one thing in the fact, aside from me enjoying it, it clarified something for me, because up until I saw that movie, I thought the Kessel Run was a race.
Oh.
I had no idea what they were talking about. And I always heard people use that whole Kessel Run thing. And I always thought it was a race. Then I found out, okay. That makes sense. Kind of like up until recently, every time someone quoted Uncle Ben, I thought they were talking about the guy from the rice box. The whole, yeah. I didn't realize that was a Spider-Man reference. So, all right.
Ben Kenobi, you're our only hope.
There you go, Uncle Ben Kenobi. I like his rice. Okay, hey, I think that just about wraps this up. Just a reminder to everybody, next week is our 100th episode. So we're going to try and do a couple things special, but throughout the week, if you have a chance, send us a message. Let us know the best or the worst memories you have of our first 100 episodes. Submit as many as you want. We'll probably have time to get through a lot of them because, we didn't really plan too much. But, yeah, I mean, if you want to send those over to us however you want, at the VOD Squad on Twitter or in the, I think we have a Discord. Yeah, we've got a Discord chat channel. And then you could always email them to us, thevodsquad@gmail.com. Get those over. Thanks everybody for the, sticking around, being here over the last year and a half. It's almost 2 years. Oh, no, we have passed 2 years. Last month was 2 years. Yeah. So
that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, we appreciate everybody that's been around, for the last couple of years, and, we'll see what the future holds for us. Hopefully we'll get at least another couple more years. Hopefully we'll actually figure out how to do this thing. But yeah, no, I'm interested to get the input. And then reminder that next Saturday, the 29th, is the September movie party. We will be watching Black Roses, which is made by the same people that made Rock and Roll Nightmare. And we will be watching Laser Blast, which once you watch the trailer, you see this is not a movie you can pass up. And it has there's a part of the movie that I recognize because it's been used over and over and over in other stuff, and I never knew where it came from. So it'll be fun. We'll be doing that on Saturday, and again, Winter Movie Draft hopefully will be on Friday night. But keep your eyes out for that announcement. And yes, MBeam has posted the complaint line for the movie party, and yes, that is a functioning phone number. Call it up if you have any complaints. Leave your complaints, and maybe we promise we will read them during the movie party, from the text or voice to text translation. And movie party, yay! And I think anything else I'm missing, guys? Am I forgetting anything?
Did you want to do rants and raves tonight?
Oh crap! My rant is that I forgot.
All right. I've got one for you guys. So this last weekend, this is not anything to do with any kind of video streaming. This weekend, I was trying to I'm figuring out how to do my wiring in my house. I actually have figured out how I want to get the wires between my second story attic and my first story basement. So, yay for me! I'm getting that figured out. But part of that was me in the garage and on a ladder, and I had to lean it up against a wall, and the ladder literally came out from underneath me.
Oh.
So what? I fell pretty hard, but my ego was bruised a bit, and my arm a little bit because it came down on something while I was coming down.
Were you standing on the very top where it says
Nope.
"Do not step"?
No, I was not. But something did land really hard and died on me, which is my favorite phone.
Your Pixel?
My Pixel XL died. The screen was no longer.
And I guess warranty won't cover that, huh?
Actually, I pay for the warranty on I paid for the repair. So I contacted Google Fi, said, "Hey, my phone's not working, and I've already moved the SIM card to another phone just so I can have a working phone." They said, "That's cool. Let's do a couple tests." Yep, their phone's dead. We just checked your warranty. You're under warranty. We'll send you a phone. I said, "Great. Here's my current address. Thank you very much. Should be there tomorrow." That was yesterday. It didn't show up. So I checked my email and it says, "Hey, we delivered your package. It was overnighted. Congratulations. We delivered it to your house when you lived in Eastern Washington."
They sent it to your old house?
They sent it to my old house.
Oh, no.
So somebody
No.
has I don't know if brand new or refurbished, but 128 gig Pixel XL
That'll
on
go
their
to...
doorstep.
Well, that was an apartment, right?
No, that was my house. That's my house in Central Washington.
Oh.
Anyways, I called them, said, "Yeah, you screwed up," and they said, "Yeah, we did. Thank you for letting us know. We'll figure this out. We'll take care of you." So in the meantime, I've been using this cheap phone. This is a Blue. You've ever heard of the company Blue?
That's how much.
So they're a pretty cheap company. It's a pretty nice actually phone design wise. It's a pretty cool looking phone. It's USB-C, thank goodness. Other than that, it's like the cheapest thing you can ever get. But I've been happy with what this cheap phone can do when just basically given the SIM card from the other thing. So it does okay. I'm still using Google Fi technically. It's just stuck on T-Mobile. So while I'm waiting for my replacement phone, I've got this dank phone to play with. So it's good.
I know I'm tuning in for what Jimmy wants to say. Hold that phone up. You said it's a blue phone? That looks white to me.
The company's called Blue, BLU. I guess it stands for Bold Like Us. And this is like the iPhone 5S knockoff phone. It looks just like an iPhone 5S. It's square and all that. So got it for free, so I can't complain.
There you go.
And you paid too much.
I'm very
kidding.
happy with how it's performed
kidding.
for the amount of money I've got for it. So good.
Company Blue that makes white phones. Hey, can't go wrong there.
There you go. That's what's going on with me.
All right, who's up?
Oh, I'll go next. So, listening to you guys talk about Solo and all, I think I'm actually going to buy that movie. It's out on, you can buy it now. So I think I'm going to buy it, and when I eventually get back home, I'm going to sit down and watch that movie. I enjoy all the Star Wars movies. I'm sure I'll enjoy this one as well. So looking forward to that. And then also, I've been watching, and we're pretty deep, me and my wife, we're pretty deep into it, Ozark, the second season of Ozark. We maybe have 2, maybe 3 episodes left. And I got to say, oh boy, if you haven't watched that show, or if you've watched only the first season, and I was worried about the second season living up to how good the first season was, because I really did enjoy it and really gave high marks to the first season. And I have to say the second season lives up to the first season as well.
I've been watching it, and I just noticed something that I never noticed before, and I don't know if they did it during the first season, but when they come up with the Ozark logo and it's the O with the crosshairs, they populate the 4 squares with items that are basically the 4 parts of the story. Each episode's different. I did not catch that until the one that had a road flare, zip tie handcuffs, and something else. And I went, wait, I don't think I've seen that before. And then I realized, oh wait, that's basically the 4 acts.
Right.
They give you the preview, right? And that's pretty cool. It's subtle.
Yeah, I think that's a knockoff from the old TV show Wild Wild West.
Oh, did they do that on Wild Wild West?
Yeah, on the Wild Wild West they used to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Rock on.
Cool. All right. I'll be picking up Solo 2. My daughter asked to watch it the other day, so I'll probably be picking that up too, Jimmy. Continuing to watch Jack Ryan, continuing to enjoy it. We're about halfway through the series. Started watching The Good Place Season 2, also kind of enjoying that. And finished Game of Thrones, which I loved up until the last.
You finished the entire series?
Well,
you somehow got the new season in already?
No, just what's released.
No. I was gonna say, send it my way.
Yeah, I enjoyed it up to the very last minute of the final episode, and then I was annoyed, but I won't talk about why I was annoyed because it's all spoilery and stuff. Finally, Iron Fist season 2 is out, and I've watched, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. I've been trying to get one episode in every night, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, I did like season 1, and I also liked him in The Defenders, but I'm quite enjoying season 2. It's I probably everybody that disliked season 1 is going to continue to hate it, but I really am enjoying the characters and the action and stuff. It's fun to me.
See, and I know I've mentioned it before, but out of all of the Netflix DC shows, Iron Fist was the only one I didn't hate. But I never did finish it.
Marvel.
Oh, I mean Marvel. That's what I meant. Yeah, Marvel.
Yeah.
No. DC, Marvel.
I was trying to decide if you were trolling us or if you were.
It is the best DC
Speaking
show.
of DC, though, I sent a message to Matt a few days ago, and he never responded to me.
Well, maybe
Matt,
because
I'll ask you right now. I'll ask you. So, did you ever get around to seeing Teen Titans Go with your son?
the movie?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw it in the theater, and it was hilarious, and it's the best movie.
Will say it was the best movie of the year, in my
Really?
opinion. I was laughing so hard throughout. I took my 2 daughters, and they're not into superhero stuff, and there was just like, just trust me, you'll be fine.
It is so aware of itself. It is so self-aware.
Absolutely, and the
amazing.
Stan Lee cameo. I was almost rolling on the floor. Stan Lee had to have his cameo.
Should we watch the series stuff first?
No,
Doesn't
you
matter.
don't have to.
No,
You don't have to.
if you do, there's lots of things that they will reference that's just good for you, and you're like, oh yeah, that's from that. Oh yeah, that's from that.
I mean, and I hesitate to say anything because there was so many things that was just blew my mind, and I was laughing, I was dying. And I
will say whatever the name of that crystal is the perfect plot device.
But it isn't just all inside jokes. There's not like a ton of inside jokes.
But they are jokes that you don't really need to know that it's an inside. I will say the Deadpool stuff was great, and there was another level to that I caught. I had to explain to my kids, but I'll ask Matt about it later.
To this day, my son still says, "Oh yeah, what's the name of that character? Oh yeah, his name is Slade."
Slade. That's cool to say. Slade. And I looked, and after we left the movie theater. I went immediately on Spotify and I looked up the movie soundtrack, and we listened to it all the way home. And I didn't realize at the time, but the one song that they were singing on the road trip, that was Michael Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's Michael Bolton. There's a Michael Bolton on this, and it's just perfect.
It is. It is. All right. Hey, I already got all the announcements off, but reminder, send us some stuff, messages for next week. We'll get through what we can, and join us. 100 episodes. This is the last time we'll make it to 100 episodes, so don't miss it. And then if you're watching live, head on over to tbs.showbot.tv and vote for those titles. The link is in the chat, and we stick around for the after show, but I'm going to end this official stream now. See you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.